Hello, everyone. This is Mrs. Rodriguez, Cabrillo kindergarten teacher. Today, we are going to be working on a frog life cycle diorama. What is a diorama? It kind of gets us confused. Well, a diorama makes it into a 3D project. So right now, it's 2D, it's flat. So the first thing I want to show you is that we're going to need these two pieces of paper, okay? And we're going to need scissors. And for this project, we actually do need a stapler. I tried doing it without the stapler. It doesn't work as well. The first part I want to show you is I want to show you how I colored. And I'm going to start with this one. So this one, it is going to be the frog's habitat. The frog lives, most of the time, lives near a very wet place. And it's kind of like this frog lives in a pond. So what I did is I colored green, this area, and then I did some green leaves, some blue sky, brown on these beautiful pond plants. And I made him, I did a trick that I learned as an adult, which is to trace the lines in the crayon nice and push it hard, and then you trace it and then you make it lighter. Then color it in lighter. You see? I learned that as a grown-up actually, to do that, where you trace the lines with the crayon nice and push it in hard. And then I did like a lighter color for the lily pad. Now you're wondering, how come she didn't color that? It says cut out. So I'm going to use my scissors to cut that out. I have to say, I just watched a video done by Mrs. Zerbel. And she reminds us that you can pause your video so that you can do this. So right here, you can pause your video and color it just like I did. To do it? Okay, welcome back. It says life cycle of the frog. Now, in this picture, you're going to see another piece. And this one, we start seeing the beginning of the life cycle of the frog. So the beginning of the life cycle of the frog is these little tiny clear eggs. They're clear and with a black dot. So this is, usually frogs will lay the eggs in a way that in the pond that's kind of hidden, so that other animals that want to eat the eggs don't find them. You can see that at the beginning, it's just a little dot, and it's hanging here close to the water, hiding behind some plants. And then you see that those little babies start growing inside, and out comes a very small tadpole. That's the name for a baby frog, tadpole. And you see that first it's a little fish. It's a fish because it breathes through its gills and it's in the water. As it starts to grow, so it's almost, we see like how it starts to grow. Maybe some are babies, maybe some are starting to grow in the egg. Some are tadpoles and they have started to grow. Then some, as they start growing, they grow these hind legs. That means the back legs. Back legs are really long. And I colored this blue, and these I colored them light green or a lime green. So the next part, you'll see how that little frog moves on to the next frog, which is this one. Now he's starting to grow some little arms on the front. The tail is starting to shorten up, And on the inside of the body, the lungs start to grow. So what I did here is, again, I used my green, and I pushed hard to trace the leaves. I colored some of the leaves. I colored the land brown. And then I traced this insect. We've all been learning about insects. So I traced that insect and I turned it into some kind of a fire ant. And then we start seeing that this guy will start coming up for air. And this one, the tail is starting to shorten up. They say that it absorbs it back into the body. And so he's starting to visit land. Excuse me. Visit land a little bit more. And then finally, it's an adult frog. Okay. So what are we going to do now? We are going to cut out this piece, and this piece, okay? The first piece of, it says, life cycle of the frog, 3-piece diorama, color cut and out the three diorama pieces inside of the front piece. Line up the left edges and bottom so all the 3 pieces are even. Staple them along the left edge. Line up the right edges and staple. So it even gives you the directions there. One piece is going to be the background. One piece is going to be the window, so you can see. And one piece is going to be kind of in the middle, floating. And that is what is going to make it into a diorama. I like doing diorama for stories in our classroom, like the 3 little pigs. It's good for acting out. And Goldilocks and the 3 bears. Now, Mrs. Zerbel taught us a way to cut these out. I'm gonna go across. Mrs. Zerbel is such a good video maker. So I cut that one out. She goes step by step. She does it so well. She says, go this way. Then go this way. Then you go across, you go this way. I wonder if you're seeing this. Can you see it? Oh, yeah. And go up this way. Have to be careful with your scissors, says Mrs. Zerbel. I'm learning so much from watching her videos. Okay, so we've got that piece. We have this piece. And it's going to start lining up like that. I noticed that this piece is much, excuse me, much shorter than that piece. You'll see why in a minute. All right, so I've got the last piece to cut. And at the bottom it says front, which means that it's the front. This piece is going to be the window. Okay, so I cut out that piece. Now, this is the tricky part. You have to cut out the middle without cutting into it. You've got to cut out the middle part without cutting into it. How are we going to do that? How do we get in there? Here's a trick, excuse me. You kind of fold it a little bit, just like that. Then you cut, right? And then voila, I cut in the middle. You see? Okay, so from there, I put my scissors in and I go to an edge, right? This is, now that let me show you. My camera's so bright that it's hard to see. Okay, so I'm going to go all the way to this edge. Now that I'm at that edge, now I'm going to try to cut on the line. Can you get adult help for this? Of course. Go on the edge. This is what's going to make this into a, let me check to see if I am recording. Yes. Okay, good. Because if I'm doing this project and I'm not recording, guess what? I have no other sample here to redo this project. And that's going to make me cry a whole lot. Okay, I'm still following the line. Gotta get around the entire pond. Now you can get help from your parents, but also I would love for you to give it a try. I'm almost all the way around. There, that's my window. Woohoo! Okay. This is the tricky part. This is the front window. This is going to be the middle. And then this is going to be the background. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to line these up correctly on the top on one side. Got it? Okay. Then I am going to staple. Stay. Don't move. Oh my gosh, didn't move. Maybe I should move my fingers a little bit. Okay, staple there. Staple there. You know what I feel like doing? Let me see. Then you have to staple the other side. But do you see how it it doesn't line up? So what you have to do is you have to line them up. You have to make them match. And that makes the back one a little foldy. Sorry that I'm not showing you. Sorry. So I lined them up, makes it foldy. Then I line that one up. They have to match. I'll do one in the middle for good measure. Okay, that one didn't really stick. Okay, that one did a little bit. And here is your diorama. So this guy can stand up on its own. Can you see it? Oh yeah, it can stand up on its own. And you can see all the stages of the frog. Egg, bigger egg, tadpole, tadpole with legs. Then you can see in the back, you can see other tadpole growing front legs, getting bigger, and finally adult. Okay, all right. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you. Bye-bye.